888-765-4321. And tits up, everybody. Oh, my God, we made it. Hold on. Let me make sure everything's going. I can already see the handsomeness. The handsome factor is okay. Ladies and gentlemen, calm down. Calm down. My face made it on camera. So the handsome part is covered. Now, we have to wait for the voice and make sure the voice controller's right. And I got to adjust it so my voice sounds better than it is, because if nothing else, I do have a face for radio. All right. If you guys can hear me, welcome to the Bottom of the Glass Nation. I should be drinking tonight, but for some reason I'm not. I can tell you why I'm not, because there's minors in the room. And I don't mean there's people with pickaxes and yellow helmets. No. Underage children have infiltrated the KGXT studios. So let's get on with the Bottom of the Glass Nation show, which if I can't drink, you guys are obligated to drink for me. Now, don't let me down. I mean, if I had to drink for two people, if I had to drink for you, I wouldn't let you down. I'd put one in each hand and keep going. And I expect the same from you. Remember, this is a very symbiotic relationship. And what that means is I'm going to lie and you're going to believe it. If everything I say is a lie, you have the obligation to believe it. If you're not doing your part of drinking and believing, well, then why are we all here? What's the point? Yeah. All right. So I need to tell you, it's a big show. Yeah. And when I mean a big show, it's not the size. It's no, same size, but it's a big show. I guess that would be metaphorically, wouldn't it? The big show. It's a goddamn huge show. That's what's coming. And so we'll start with me. We're gonna bounce around a little bit because there's some complicated stuff going on. We have had top-notch engineers working on this for hours, trying to get this straightened away. Do you know why? To bring a great show to you guys. Yeah, I didn't do it for me. I could give a shit. I could just sit here and talk about me all night. That's my favorite topic. But no. I was instructed by my wife to make a difference tonight, to do something that actually counts, to give back to the world. So I didn't really know how to do that. I thought, well, I'll tell you what, I'll bring my kids on and I'll yell at them. And that should contribute to the world. And see, look at how many people just raised the glass. Yeah, fucking A, yell at your kids. Yeah. See, it's working. I told you, I'm going to say stuff and you believe it. Gen X mom, I don't think the split screen's going to work. Let me try it. Well, there you go. You don't adjust it. Oh, now you got to adjust it again when we go to the other screen. All right. So do we have birthdays? Do we have stuff? You're not even doing your job. You know what? If you've been yapping the whole hour here, you had one job, birthdays.
I will look them up. I will make sure.
Is there anything between the sheets you want to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Member for 19 months. Tim H., welcome to the Bottom of the Glass Nation. Nightbot did $5 down under, rep in the house.
There we go. That's our boys from down under.
Yep, and that's it for the sheets right now.
All right. So now I'm going to change your camera in a minute. And you're going to have to readjust. Because you had to put yourself in frame. You couldn't go, no. You can't go without that. Okay, so what we're going to do tonight, I'm telling you right now, take a minute, listen to me. Listen to me, please. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit some evidence to you, and I think to inquire in a deeper sort of a metaphorical way than we did before. You're all going to need to take a minute, refill your adult beverages, turn out the lights, pull the drapes, put the cat out, and shut the door. Yeah, Gen X mom.
Dead. Somebody said turn her mic up, Mrs. Forsyth.
I didn't even have it on.
Oh, good job.
I forgot to turn your mic on.
So rude.
I am so sorry. Look, it was all about me. It was all about me.
Yeah, it's always about you.
And I forgot you. I did. Okay, so is there birthdays?
I don't know. I have to check, but now I have to go back.
In the sheets?
Well, hold on. Nightbot is a member for 19 months.
19 months working on
Tim
his big blue too.
H became a Bottom of the Glass Nation member.
Thank you, Tim.
And then Nightbot gave $5 down under, rep in the house.
That's what I'm saying. Now we're getting some from down under.
So they heard part of it because, you said after me, you repeated it.
They could hear you a little bit through my... I do apologize.
Gosh.
It's not bad enough to give a 3-part apology. We don't give those away willy-nilly. No. So, yeah, let me go back to what I was doing. Look, again, me. So remember, let's all settle in because there's stuff going on. And I've given... My family is in here in studio, but I've given them some rules. And if they fuck with me, they're out of the will. Now, my oldest son who's here, the oldest son and present, he was very clever about that. He goes, you're going to cut me out of the will? Great. I don't want any of your debt anyway, because when I die, everything gets divided equally. If I owe $300,000, they all have to pay equally. My one son already knows this, so you know what? He's going to get mad at us today, just so you know, too.
Who?
the oldest son present tonight is going to be mad. Because I introduce him. There's my pot smoking, computer fixing, tree hugging, liberal minded Northern California. He's like, Dad, why do you pick a different? No, nuts fits. I like that. And you guys, you know who else is here? All of you who listen to the podcast are going to be very, very at home because you know the daughter that has 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door, can't figure out what the fuck she's doing in her relationship. She's here tonight. Oh, how about the millennial daughter?
Who's married
to the Marine at Camp Pendleton and thought she was going to live a wonderful, powerful life with the Marine Corps helicopter pilot in beautiful San Diego, and now they're passing out food stamp cars in Lincoln, Nebraska very soon. That's not the world is changing under their feet, and all of them are here today. So
you forgot the other two at the other end.
Oh yeah, and you got Briggs and Addie, who's always here, and from the Kid Show.
Wow.
And the one screen's going to look very much like the Kid Show with Gen Z kid Briggs and his beautiful, talented, wonderful girlfriend Addie. In fact, you could just put her on screen and get him out of here. All right.
Okay.
So let me turn this on so you can get a look at what's going on.
Woo!
There we go.
There's everybody. You're all on
everybody
screen.
on there, and there's the microphones.
Everybody.
Say hi.
Now, it's really tough to see on your screen, honey. See, you got millennial son in the background there. No, other way. There you go.
Hi, everybody.
So this is the whole mess. Now, there is going to be some rhyme or reason tonight. There is going to be some organization. Okay, whoever's fucking with a bottle, I'm going to kill them. Someone's got a plastic bottle.
Your granddaughter.
Who's squeezing the plastic bottle?
Granddaughter.
She's not.
No,
She has no bottle. Look at she's clean. It's the kid.
Grandpa wrapped.
It's the kid.
Grandpa
Gen
is
Z
wrapped
kid.
around
He was
his
doing
little.
it under the desk there.
No.
He's fucking around like that.
Grandpa, you're
You know
such
what?
a softie.
She is doing no wrong. You leave her alone.
Oh, whatever.
She doesn't. She's not doing anything wrong.
Wait till she gets a little bit older, then we're gonna see how that attitude changes.
Oh.
It'll be fine with me because
Real.
I can spoil her, give her loud toys, and send her home, which is what we're supposed to do as grandparents. All right. So I don't know how this looks on your screen, but to my right over here, we have the beautiful, the lovely, the talented Gen X mom. Next to her is millennial son. He's the computer guy who's the tree hugger from up north. Below my screen, look at there. There's my granddaughter, and there's my millennial daughter who's married to the Marine behind her, and the millennial daughter who's kind of lives here at home and kind of doesn't live at home and can't figure out the whole boyfriend thing. That's the one who's down there with she's got the hair and the makeup. And my son comes in, Gen Z kid comes in, he goes, "Look at how you look on camera. You look like you're ready to stir up a witch's brew." Now, I was trying not to laugh, but he was kind of right on that. And in the very end, the bottom right corner, we have, as usual, Gen Z kid Briggs and his girlfriend Addie.
You're not
Sit
that special.
down.
You sit down. You're not that special.
Nobody's cheering
They're
for
more
you.
excited to see me than you.
So I'm going to do
don't
something
forget
right.
Pedro. Pedro's on screen tonight.
Can't hear you. Too far away.
Pedro is on screen tonight. This is the closest he's ever been to being free.
But Two Bear's no longer on staff, or he would have started the Free Pedro.
Yeah.
He was very good about that. Someone will have to take up that mantle later. All right. So what tonight is all about, ladies and gentlemen, what we're presenting to you is very much a very Brady Christmas special in spring. Yeah. So just take out most of the words, leave the ones that make sense, and we can all carry on. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my granddaughter. I'm going to ask her a couple questions, even though she's not pointing. She's fucking with the microphone like it's a toy. And I'm going to ask her a couple questions. Are you ready?
Hey, baby
Now,
girl.
there's no right or wrong answers. You can say whatever you want, okay? I'm in charge here, and no one's allowed to get mad at you. Okay. So can you tell me, sweetheart, who do you like better, mommy or daddy?
I like.
Which one's better? Mommy or daddy?
I
We only have an hour.
Pick one quickly.
You got to answer.
like mommy.
Okay. Now, who do you hold on? Who do you like
Mommy.
better, Grammy or Pop Pop?
Both.
No.
He takes the
She's going to be a politician. Okay.
That's
Now,
awesome.
sweetheart, I'm going to ask you another question. Just answer what you think. Whatever comes into your head, okay? What makes you happy?
Donuts.
It's starting to sound like you.
Donuts make me happy.
Donuts.
Okay, you ready? That's a good answer. That was a great answer. Hold on now. What makes you sad?
I'm poor.
You're poor?
You're poor.
Whoa! She said I'm poor.
God, no.
She- I said, what makes you sad? She said, I'm poor.
Okay.
Good job.
That was great. What a great.
Oh, my
All right.
God.
Do you have a dog?
Yes.
Can you turn the microphone towards you? What is your dog's name?
Lady.
Your dog's name is Lady. Do you have any other animals?
I have a bunny.
What is your bunny's name?
Oreo.
Your bunny's name is Oreo?
How many bunnies do you have?
How many bunnies do you have?
2.
Where'd you get your bunnies?
From Papa.
From Papa. That's right. That's exactly right. All right. So now, do you have anybody have any questions for the granddaughter, the special lady of the evening, before we dismiss her to her Marine Corps dad? Anybody got any questions? Kid Briggs, lean in real tight and say what's
Yeah.
going on.
Oh, she's got a question. Of
Oh, let her go first.
What do you have?
Let her go
Sweetheart,
first.
What's your question?
Can I go to the bathroom?
You know what? You can go to the bathroom, but Uncle Briggs wanted to ask you a quick question, and you can go. Okay, go.
Elena, out of all your aunts and uncles, who's your favorite?
Um,
Of course he'd ask.
Who?
Quick question.
Who's your favorite? Oh, there she is. All right. Yes, you're dismissed. Somebody go ahead and let her out. We'll get on with the program. That was priceless. That's got to become a slice. What makes you sad? I'm poor.
I'm poor.
Oh my gosh! Out of the mouths of babes, just like they had those
would
shows a
never
long
thought
time
you
ago.
would say
Kids say the darndest things. I thought that'd be a good way to start. Now I'm not watching the sheets. I'm not even watching the comment section. I can't.
So do you want me to read sheets for a minute?
Yeah, you can go
Okay,
ahead. What
let
do you
me-
got on sheets?
I've got Doug LaLicker.
Doug LaLicker?
He is now a member, a Bottom of the Glass Nation member.
Thanks for showing up.
Danny
Appreciate that.
H., member for 11 months. Been around longer than 11 months, but one more to go. Nail Lover, member for 21 months. Vern Ulrich, member for 16
He had a
months.
birthday. We announced his birthday last show.
Friday.
He wasn't here. Yeah.
Friday. No, he was there.
Was he?
Yeah. Sean MacArthur on Facebook personal. Hey, General, here's something for the alcohol fund.
My man.
Sitting back with a drink, enjoying being part of the Gen X family.
My man.
100 stars sent.
Thank you.
And the Shoeless One, member for 18 months. Hello, Bottom of the Glass Nation from the Chesapeake Bay, home of the collapsed bridge.
Oh, you done?
Chris gave $2, did not allocate the funds.
Canadian
Whiskey
dollars.
Fun then.
Scott Aarons, member for 12 months. I made it. Got my big red
Got his
one.
big red
I
one.
have arrived. Best bar ever. I'm here until the wheels fall off or we cliff dive.
There we go.
Bottom of the Glass Nation forever. You all. Love you all. And Jeffrey Montgomery. By now, Gen X mom deserves a 5-part apology. Short of that, 2,000 stars for her to go to the spa.
Oh my, that's got to be a record of stars on Facebook sent. That's got to be a damn near a single season record. It has to be.
If the general wishes these to be redirected to him, she needs the 5-part apology.
So wait, I get to keep the 2,000 stars if I give the 5-part apology?
Yes.
That's tempting. I think I can. I think I could tell 5 lies to get 2,000 stars.
And I have one more. Frank Waymiller, I believe.
Waymiller.
Facebook personal. General, you're awesome. 99
Thanks, my man.
stars sent.
Appreciate that. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You can't come back in. You got to go, sweetie.
And then, wait, we just got some members really quick.
Yeah.
Stacy Cape just gifted 5 Gen X Talks memberships to Andreas, Kathy, Dennis, Freedom of Truth, and John. They all got memberships tonight.
All right. So what I was going to bring up was now you made me forget. I had it, and you go, wait a minute, one more thing. What was I going to
can't-
say?
I didn't know.
I had something in there. I was going to talk to Millennial Kid about it, and then you kept how. You know what? When she interrupts me like that,
Oh, I was gonna be. I'm supposed to be mad.
no, well you can't. No one can hear you, so it won't matter. Remember, you got to be like this close.
Oh, I'm supposed to be mad. That's
Well,
what you said.
I think so. But here's the deal. I had this in my head. It was something clever. It was something witty. We were going to move the program forward. And as I go to speak, she opens up her trap, loses my train of thought. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're not having a good time with the program right now, blame Gen X Mom. Because she just railroads me to one side. And I'm telling you, right at this moment, I'm so mad and I'm so frustrated that what comes to mind is the words of one of the greatest philosophers of the 20th century, Iceman from Bodfish, who looked at me across a crowded bar one night and said the immortal words, chicks, man. Chicks. And that's the God's honest truth. I was there. It's a true story, or at least it's true. It's a story. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go around the room. I have some questions. I'm going to skip you if you refuse to talk into the mic correctly. Now, I'm going to give you all an opportunity at the end of the show. You're each, as my children, going to be able to ask me one question. Oh, my camera froze. My camera's off.
Is it?
Yep. Come here and look. Check this out,
man.
Briggs. Everyone, please stand by.
Text board.
Text board.
Yeah, and he did fix it, but it was my idea that got.
Oh, wow.
Don't even think that it was, and it was. All right, so where are we here? We'll go back to everybody. So here's the deal. At the end of the show, or the end of the segment here, every kid is going to get to ask me one question, and I can't lie. You can ask, why are you boy, she's got a shit-eating grin on her. She was like, ooh, evil.
She's
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you guys questions about growing up in a house of 8, the privilege and the wonderness of you being in my house with me as your father, and you don't need to lavish me with all the examples of wonderfulness that you're going to be tempted to do. Don't have to worry about that. A few are necessary, though. You got to tell a couple of good stories. But at the end, you can ask me any question, one question, and I won't lie. So we're going to go around the room right now. We're going to start on one side and work all the way around. We're going to start with Gen X Mom. So get yourself a microphone and lean in.
I'm here.
Now, I want you to tell me what was the highlight of the best part about raising 8 kids.
All the fun we had and all the holidays. There was never a dull moment in the house.
There was never a dull moment.
It was a lot of fun.
It was busy.
Yes.
You know, it's funny. We've had bad times with having 8 kids too. Not all good, but it's funny looking back. I kind of forget a lot of the bad times. I remember more of the good times.
Yes. Nerf gun fights, going down the stairs.
Nerf gun wars.
Wars. I don't know. There was all kinds of stuff.
All right, we'll pass it over to the millennial son who's president in studio. And what do you think? Give me the highlight. What would you say was one of the best parts of being raised in a family with 8 kids?
So there was a time when you guys left to go on a date night.
Wait,
Bad idea.
what was your
idea.
best memory when we left?
Yeah. So you guys went out on a date night,
Yeah.
and you put the oldest in charge,
Not you.
the least responsible, not me.
No,
Put the least responsible in charge.
there
and,
was one older than you, and he was less responsible
Yes.
too. Yeah.
And we thought it'd be a great idea to use one of the extra mattresses to surf it down the stairs while you were gone. And it was the most fun we ever had in the house. And we cleaned it all up, and you never found out about it.
Really? What about who put their head through the hole at the bottom of the stairs?
Oh, yeah.
I came home and there was a hole in the drywall.
Yeah,
idea.
I guess I didn't see that as big of a problem when I was younger.
Yeah, it was. I promise you that it was a big
Whose
problem.
idea was it?
Yeah, who did that?
It was a community decision.
That had to have been your older brother going, hey, let's try this.
It was a community decision. It was not
But you
just him.
didn't realize the amount of times that you could have stopped it was when you were taking the sheets and blankets off of someone's bed, when you were
No,
carting the
we had
mattress
an
down
extra
the
one.
hallway. There was many opportunities for someone to say, Dad's going to be pissed.
There was very little time between let's do this and it happening. There really was. It was a small amount of time.
All right, so we're going around the room. Gen Z kid, Brave.
Yeah.
What
Hit
would
me.
you say would be one of the best parts about being raised in a family of 8?
I got 2 answers. One answer is the fact that everyone's so diverse. We're not all copy paste, which is great.
That's true.
You know, everyone's completely different, which I think is amazing because I get to hang out with. I'm not just talking to the same person over and over again. You know, one other thing that's great about having a family of 8 is that it's hard to pin on who did something wrong. You know, like everyone can just shift blame to somebody else.
Exactly. I remember Dad going, "Did you do it? No. Did you do it?
Yeah.
No. Did you do it? No. Did you do it? No. Well, I guess no one did it."
Yeah, I had to do that. Line you girls up. Okay, there's a hole in the fucking wall, and apparently nobody did it.
Yeah, it was always
The
there.
hole just opened up in the drywall while I was at dinner tonight.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Fucking God, that's true. There was really. That's one thing with all of you moved out. And just Gen Z kid home, when there's a big chunk of paint missing out of the wall, I know who it was. He can't blame it on someone else. He did it. There's no fucking way it wasn't him. It was him. So he's like, God damn it. Everything is his fault, no matter what. All right, going around the room.
I had something to say real quick. I remember there's fond memories of you pacing back and forth with all of us sitting on the floor and you describing to us why we can't have nice things. And he's like, "I'm done buying things." You're done. You're like, "I'm done."
I did that. Yeah, that's right. I would sit there and go, you know what? I'd put all the kids in a row. I'd sit them down on the couches or stand there. You know what? This is why I can't fucking buy nice things. You know what? All of you grow up and move out so I can start buying some nice things. Because you guys, every time I buy something nice, I save up money. You fuckers ruin it. You break it. So I can't have anything nice. You know what? We're going to buy secondhand everything from now on. That way when you guys break it, it only costs me 50 cents and I can get another one at next weekend's yard sale. He's right. Now you got me all pumped up, man.
I know. You're glad you're past those times,
I
huh?
want a collection plate around so people have to pay me back for the shit they broke. All right, so we're going over to my lovely millennial daughter who is married to the Marine in Camp Pendleton, who used to be married to a helicopter mechanic in San Diego, and now is going to be married to a high school recruiter in Lincoln, Nebraska. Oh, how far we've fallen. All right, sweetheart, why don't you tell everybody what would be one of the best things about growing up in a big family of 8?
When we all sit around the dinner table and Mom would ask what everyone's highs and lows were.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, can you grab the mic and lean in and tell everybody what that was? Because you used to bring that up at the dinner table. We would all be there, and you would make the kids do what?
We would play a game called High Low at dinner time, so that we had all 8 kids every night, as many nights as possible, I should say, sit around the dinner table, and we would go around just like we are tonight and give a high and a low for their day. Right. And most of it started a conversation, which was part of it, because somebody would say, like, this teacher was awful, and most of the kids had that teacher and they would talk about it. So yeah, there was a high and a low for the day.
You stopped at the dinner table and said, okay, kid number 1, what was your high and low day? Give me the best part of your day and the worst part of your day. Hey, you know what was a byproduct of doing that with the kids? I didn't really expect it, but it worked out, is that when inevitably every now and then one kid would have a terrible low. They would say somebody picked on them on the bus or something that really bothered them. But by you bring that out in front of everybody, they felt better because everybody was like, it's okay, all right, we're there for you, we can do. It was a good way to bring out your problem and let everybody help you in the family kind of resolve it or talk you through it. I didn't think that was going to be the case when you started this 20-some years ago, but it worked, and it worked out really well. All right, now to the millennial daughter that is famous on the podcast. Yes, she's the one who has got one foot in the door and one foot out. Can't figure out what the fuck she's doing. So her mother and I just scratch our heads and watch her amble around the universe aimlessly. And
she's
that's
the
her.
youngest daughter.
She's the youngest of the daughters, yes. 4 boys and 4 girls, and she's the youngest girl. Okay, sweetheart, I love you. Tell me what was one of the best parts about being raised in a family of 8.
Oh, Lord. The best part for me, it's kind of like a 2-part because one of my favorites is we always had pizza in the movie night on Fridays.
That's right.
And a lot Pirates of the Caribbean and just Transformers and all that good stuff growing up. But now that I'm older, looking back on it, you know, being such a huge family, we couldn't go out on vacations a whole lot of times.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated and had a lot of fun with all of us making up games just for all of us in the house. Like
we did.
the Family Olympics and it's so random, but it's so fun, you know?
Well, that I would give credit to your mother for a lot of that. Now, when she started that 20-some years ago, she did pizza in a movie night. We'd order a bunch of pizzas. You girls would go in there and make all the popcorn for everybody. And the guys and I would situate the chairs and pillows and stuff and make a big, you know, and if it's wintertime, everybody gets a blanket and, you know, we'd turn on the fireplace or whatever in the other house. Yeah, it was a big deal. And it was, again, keeping us all together. Mm-hmm. And your mother would come up with these things for like the Family Olympics that we would do. She'd just make up 12 games. Like, how far can you ride a skateboard out into the street down the driveway? You know, can you shoot a basketball into a trash can with one hand
Holding
far
the
away?
egg.
Holding an egg and running around. I mean, she'd just make up these things. But again, it was competition, but it was family. We were always doing things together like that. About the only thing I contributed like that was I would make you all do chores. That was family time. You guys missed family time. We were all doing chores together. We were
Yes.
This is my favorite part. Why didn't I mention that?
Because you get to do all of
family
them now
with
on your
chores.
own.
And the other one, which was that I thought was great, the guys all thought it was great, and your mother tolerated it, was back in the day, we linked up 4 Xboxes in 4 different rooms, and we had blue Ethernet cables going up and down the stairs and through everything, because that's how you had to connect them. There was no wireless connection.
Right.
So she tolerated 4 rooms of the house with screaming kids playing Xbox because we were all linked together. And don't touch the cable, don't step on the hub, don't unplug anything. So she's delicately walking around her house while we're playing, and there's cords everywhere. That was fun too. That was about the only contribution I gave. Other than that, it was just chores and safety, security, regiment, and details. That was me. And the fun stuff came from Mom.
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
Everyone was taking too long of showers. Because in the morning, you know, 12 people would have to take a shower, and by the time, you know, the last person was in there, there'd be no hot water.
Right.
So I think you went to like Walmart and you got a bunch of like tubs and put everyone's shower gel and shower gear and towel inside of a little container. Put it inside all the bathrooms and said, "You get 7 minutes to shower."
It was
and I
7
will
minutes to
time you
shower.
every time.
Yeah, and then I remember after some of you moved out, one daughter who now lives up north from us here, she still would take a 20-minute shower, 30-minute shower. I went and bought one of those shower heads that has a mechanical timer. And it would shut off after 5 minutes, and she got so mad. She goes, "What's with the new shower head?" And then she tried. She goes, "Damn it, Dad!" She's screaming.
Yeah, she's like, how can I wash my hair in 5 minutes?
And I go, in 5 more minutes,
Yeah.
turn back on for another 5 minutes. So she stood there in the shower with no water running, waiting 5 minutes for this mechanical shower head to turn back on for another 5 minutes. Yes, your mother was the one who did the totes. You guys had everything for your bathroom supply and a towel over your shoulder. Pack your stuff in, pack your stuff out. And I gave you 7 minutes to get in the shower. 7 minutes, and that's it. And I'd bang on the door. I'd throw buckets of cold water on you guys. There wasn't any extreme. You just do the 7 minutes, man. And nobody wanted to do the 7 minutes. Everybody just wanted to. As long as they were first, they didn't care. They had their hot water.
Dad, going off of that, when I was little and you gave me my first watch, you know, I had a little stopwatch on it.
Yeah.
You made me into a little hitman. Okay. You got.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I thought, you know, I'm getting $1 for this. Ready? I got $1 every time sorry, let me give some context. My room at the time was right next to the girls' bathroom, so I can hear when they turn on the shower and stuff like that. So when I was like 10 and 11, he'd say, anytime that you catch one of your brothers or sisters taking a shower over 5 minutes or 7 minutes, over 7 minutes, you show me your stopwatch and then you get $1. And I was like, oh my God, this is free money.
Yep.
I was a little hustler.
I had someone watching you guys. They come and tell me. He comes with a list. He goes, "These 3 brothers and sisters went over 7 minutes. Thank you for the list."
You was snitching on all of us for $1.
For $1.
Why? There wouldn't have been a problem if you guys were, I don't know, Obedient.
But the boys were lucky because their shower was downstairs. When you guys were downstairs, we didn't. The boys were downstairs, the girls were upstairs. So yeah.
Yeah. So that was plus the other problem was too is that with the daughters, it wasn't so much of a problem because we had such a big family. Everybody had to double up and share a room. And you guys were always complaining, why do I got to share a room with this person? Why do I got to share a room with that person? Classic line from Mom. When she told you guys, look, everybody calm down. I know you don't like having to share a room. I have to share a room too. I'm stuck with Dad. That was your answer to the kids. He told everybody,
Yes, I have to share a room.
You have to share a room too. Of course, then all of our daughters roll their eyes like, oh, Mom's up like that. But yes, those are some of the things that came into play with that. And yes, you guys had 7-minute showers, pack your stuff. Look, with this many kids, Mom had to get you guys very, very organized. She had to. You couldn't just let everything run amok. You couldn't do it. What about summer times when we told you guys, the first couple of weeks of summer break, and you guys were swimming in the pool and playing basketball in the street and running around, and by 11 o'clock in the morning, there's 200 cups on the kitchen counter. 200 cups. Because every time you guys were thirsty, you'd grab a new cup. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? So I went out and bought those colored cups, remember?
Right.
And that was your cup for the whole day. You couldn't use anything but that cup. We had to do stuff like that because you guys had no common sense whatsoever. Not even a little bit. You guys remember those? And remember when we only gave you one towel, a beach towel for the pool? Everybody pick your towel. I had to take pictures of you holding your towel. Do you guys remember why I had to take pictures of you? Because you would come in and you'd say, I can't find my green towel or my towel. And I say, well, it's right out there. No, she's got my towel. My towel was blue. That one's green. I had to start taking pictures of what towel was yours because you'd lie to me. You tell me that wasn't my towel. I can't find my towel. I didn't have a blue towel. I had an orange towel. I'd pull up my phone and go, no, look right here. Here you are holding your towel. And then you guys were pissed. We had to go to these kind of extremes because you guys just railroaded us. Remember,
Good times.
when you're 2 parents against 8 kids, you can't run a man-to-man defense. There's too many of you. We had to back up and run a zone defense with 2 of us. We had to. All right. So let's start back around this side with Gen X Mom. Give me something that was really hard, sad, made you upset, something consistently that was difficult about raising 8 children, something that just was frustrating or it's something that really got to you, raising 8 kids. And this question goes for all of you. Think of something that was difficult.
Not having a lot of me time. I was constantly busy. From the moment my feet hit the ground in the morning, I was busy doing 8 lunches, getting them out the door, then grocery shop. I was just going. Then after school activities, and I think my head would hit the pillow at 10, 11 o'clock at night. It was a lot. It was long.
Come to think of it, you're right. You didn't have any time to yourself at all.
No.
You were one of those moms that every time you went to the bathroom, there was somebody knocking. Mom!
Yes.
Mom!
Yes, absolutely.
That was me.
All right, millennial kid, give me your best one. Point that microphone right at your mouth.
What?
And tell me what was difficult or you didn't like or that was hard. Something that would dissuade you from having 8 kids of your own because it was not as comfortable as you'd like it to be.
Dad, you don't need to correct him on the microphone. He said he was in show business, okay?
that's right.
He said he was in show business.
He's talking like this over here. And he's like, been in show business. Everyone, I've been in show. Okay, go ahead.
Something that was hard.
Something that was difficult or something you didn't like. And I know you've spoken on this topic once before, and I still remember to this day because it bothered me. It hit me right in my heart and my gut when he said it.
I don't know if I'm going to say that you're talking about,
Maybe
but
not.
I remember watching everyone else in junior high and high school get special treatment and special gifts, a new car, all these different things that I knew just wasn't possible. And logically, I knew that as a kid, but it still bummed me out to watch.
Wait, who?
What do you mean?
Friends, right?
Well,
'Cause
friends.
you didn't clarify. Who got your older
Well,
brother?
friends and peers in school and stuff,
Okay,
like
so
they're
not your younger brothers. You didn't say who.
no, not like people in the family. I mean, like in high school, other friends who were like an only child
Yeah.
their parents would pour everything into one kid. And I had to share half of the things that I knew and cared about in my home, which,
Just so
you know,
you know, this is the answer.
yeah.
This is the one that always gets to you because you always say that there were so many kids that the money, the family money we had didn't spread out.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it wasn't like you guys had to trade shoes, you know, to go to school each day, but it was pretty.
Yeah. And I knew too that, you know, I was watching friends apply to colleges that were, you know, 70 grand a year to go there. Not even room and board. That's just the tuition.
Right.
You know, and I was thinking like, man, I'm going to have to probably pay my way with a little bit of help through community college.
Right.
And those circumstances kind of sucked, but, you know, the older that I get, the more I realize that some of the lessons and values that I learned being a part of a family that had to share a lot of things are a lot more valuable than being spoiled or pushed along in life that, you know, might produce a career or something. Like, who cares? You know,
was always
if you don't have a
tough.
character, it doesn't matter.
I'm glad that Mom and I didn't have meltdowns on this topic on the same day. And what I mean by that is because if you guys don't think that we could see in your eyes disappointment when other people got stuff and we couldn't give it to you, or we had to try to spread out the money around all you kids, and it was tough. And we saw disappointment sometimes in your eyes. And we go upstairs, everybody's going to bed at night, and then Mom's crying, having a meltdown. She goes, we can't give them some of the things we'd like to give them. We can't buy them some of the things that we'd like. Not that we were going to spoil everybody, but there was times when it would have been nice to get you a little something, and we just couldn't afford it. So she's crying about it, and I'm saying, look, you're a good mother. You created a good home. Everybody's warm. Everybody's fed. Everybody has clean clothes. They're all getting an education. Nobody's in jail. I mean, you know, we're going forward. And I'd have to bring her around and pump her up. But the opposite was also true. I'd get mad. I'd start punching the punching bag in the garage, or I'd start punching the walls in the bedroom because I feel like I'm not earning enough money and doing the right thing to try to do, you know, it's just, well, there was 8 kids. Don't worry about it. I'm fucking worried about it. It bothered me. Then she would have to come to me and go, relax. They're going to turn out okay. But don't think for a second it was just you looking at it going, wow, you know, there's a family of 8. If the rest of these 7 would leave, I could get stuff. We felt that way too. So just to be clear on that, that is the one thing that stuck in my head because you've brought that up once in the past and I remembered it. All right, moving around the room, Kid.
Yes.
What's one thing that was difficult about or uncomfortable about being in a family of 8?
Well, as the youngest, I'm 6 years younger than my closest sibling. So it was the hardest thing for me was I was so young that it's tough for me to like relate to a lot of my brothers and sisters on like when they talk about stuff like this, like, oh, back in the day when we did this and we did that. I was too young to really remember that. You know, I talked this with you earlier today.
Today we had,
yeah. I was like, I want to connect with them. I want to have like conversations. Like I love them. You know, they're my brothers and sisters. But sometimes I'm like, if it's like the relationship of a cousin. Sometimes, you know, like they see me as like a brother or sister. I'm like, I don't know your history. I didn't like grow up with you like that, you know? There's a weird disconnect sometimes. That's the hardest of being like the youngest, you know?
We did have that talk today. We were doing some stuff outside by the fire pit, and he just started talking. He just opened up and said, I can't relate to them as much as I want to. They know me. They know everything about me and all the funny stuff I've ever done. They watched me make mistakes and do good, and they remember every birthday party, but I don't remember theirs. I don't remember all their stuff. And he said those exact words to me today. It was kind of a quiet moment we had in the backyard. And he said, I just want to feel the same way about them that they do me, but I don't remember it as much. They remember me as just part of everything going on. And by the time my memory kicks in, some of them are already moving out. And it becomes tough. I gave him one piece of advice today. I said, it's kind of the same with anybody that you want to know. If you want to know a person, doesn't matter if they're your brother or your sister, go sit and talk. Learn about them. Sit with Tasha and say, okay, what are you really thinking about moving to, Nebraska? How does that feel? How does that bother you? Do you like it? Are you excited? Learn what she's going through right now. Sit with Jade and go, hey, you're trying to figure out life with a boyfriend and a job and what's going on. If you really want to know, just like you would with any person, any stranger, you have to ask and listen and then share. And you will catch up. Plus, it'll be easier because there are a lot of common memories. But he's right. I get what he's saying about that. That being the youngest in the family of 8, there's a little bit of a disconnect there. That's a tough one. All right, millennial daughter from Camp Pendleton.
Wait, I have a question. I have a question.
What?
Sis, older sister.
Yes.
You are moving to Kansas and all.
No,
Nebraska.
you don't even know where she's
Nebraska.
moving.
Sorry, my bad.
Nebraska.
They're all same spot. My bad.
Flat.
You're moving to Nebraska and all. Like, do you know what the state capital of Nebraska is? It's gonna be your state. Do you know what it is?
No.
I mean, you should know the city you're living in too.
Oh, I don't.
All the cameras.
What?
Lincoln.
I said I don't.
Lincoln.
Like,
Cameras.
oh, what city? Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to Lincoln, Nebraska. Why?
Who says?
That's the capital.
What?
Oh,
What about the
that's
camera?
what the city I'm going to.
Getting pixelated.
Yeah,
It's fine.
That's
Fix.
Okay.
Okay,
It's what?
that's your
not,
question.
That's not. Yeah, that was my question. That's not us. And my camera has been glitching the whole stream just
Yeah, your
because.
camera's been glitching.
Is our camera glitching?
No, because you have the best camera.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
So let's go to millennial daughter from Pendleton. What's one thing that was very difficult about being raised in a family of 8? What was tough?
I would have to say my older sister. She did a lot to damage my parents. She put my parents through a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like for all of her mistakes and her mess ups, a lot of that kind of fell onto me of what I couldn't do in high school. So I didn't really get to go to a lot of football games. And I feel like a lot of that is because of her, and my dad was a lot stricter on me because of her mistakes. And I think what I personally think that happened is just that my dad didn't want me to like follow into her steps. So I couldn't go to a lot of like birthday parties or
God, you're making it sound like I chained you to the dungeon floor. You went to a lot of stuff, but I did restrict some of the activities. Just like, okay, can I go to a birthday party? Where is it? Well, it's just a few doors down, and it's with the parents there. Yes. Can I go to one across town with a cousin of the uncle of? No, you can't do those.
But that's not. But it's also like certain things that that I would like when we got into makeup. There's certain things that reminded you of Nettie.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no.
Right.
And
yeah.
then
Sorry about that. That's the way it was ingrained in me. I didn't have time to sort shit out. I was working all day. That was a bad experience. I'm not letting that bad experience happen again. So the rest of my daughters, all 3 of you, you're locked into this now. Do your best, have a good time, but you're stuck here.
Yeah, but the worst thing growing up with my older sister is what she did, not to only to you and mom, but what she did to with me and my little sister, one of my other little sisters.
That's where they left you on the side of the house?
Yes. So we were supposed to go to the mall and made it a really she made it into a really fun day. And my dad's like, yeah, you guys go to walk, go shopping, go eat lunch. And she ended up deceiving my parents and deceiving us, me and my little sister. And she ended up putting us, and it's in the summer, by the way, in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
And she put us in a bush while she went over to a guy's house.
On the side of a house. And said, stay here till I get back.
And I just remember how hot it was, and my little sister wasn't feeling good. And I was like, we just need to go. We just need to go back home, and we need to tell what happened. And she walks up and she acts like nothing happened, like everything's fine. And she's like, don't tell mom and dad though, blah, blah, blah. And I just remember being so mad and so upset. And I don't think I ever forgave her for that.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah. And again, just seeing what she put the whole family through was absolutely a nightmare.
I tolerated a lot of shit from her until she began to harm my other children. And then I fucking lost my mind. I lost my shit. And I told her, I said, you are now harming my family. And she goes, Dad, they're my family too. No, they're not. Right now, you're over there, and my family's behind me. You and I are not on the same page. You are now an enemy harming my children. That is all I see when I look at you. She did not like that. That was an eye-opener for her. When she damaged you guys and I jumped into it, she thought I was going to kill her. She literally thought I was going to drag her by her hair down the street. And I didn't even care. I was like, I don't care anymore. Yeah, you cannot harm my other children. That was a huge one. Yeah, that was a tough one.
It's a good opportunity to talk about the bike story.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Wait, I love this story.
Yeah, do that.
This is a bad story. This is bad parenting. I was not.
Don't copy this. Don't do.
First of all, I want to say kids don't come with instructions.
Wait. Can I say it from my perspective on just what happened, and then you can say what the explanation is.
Let me tell the story up to the point, and then I'll stop, and you can say, so I got up that morning and
Sure.
But let me tell you, kids don't come with instructions. So when our children used to come to my wife and I, and they would complain about stuff. I gotta turn you up just a little bit. Yeah, no, go ahead. We're good. This isn't recording it, so we're fine.
I was going to watch it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I wasn't trying to interrupt you.
All right, well, go ahead.
You're messing with my flow.
I'm sorry.
You're messing with my
So kids don't come with instructions is what I was trying to tell you. And the kids would always come to us and go, you're not supposed to do this. Other people get to do this. Other kids get to do that. I don't get this. I don't do that. And we would look at our children and go, listen, you didn't come with an instruction booklet. We don't know what we're doing as parents. We're literally making this up as we go along. And our kids would look at us and go, what? What are you saying? It's like, well, to be honest with you, we didn't know that. We didn't think all of you would live this long. So we think we're doing okay. We would literally tell our children that.
They put us in charge.
At 7 years old, they're like, look, we didn't put ourselves in charge. Somebody allowed this to happen. Go take it up with them. Whoever's allowing us to be in charge knows better, but we're here anyway, and we don't know what we're doing. So I will tell you the beginning of the story. I think I've told the story one time in 3 years to you guys. It was a long time ago. But this one particular daughter that was creating just hell in our family for 4 years. And that could be a 6-hour podcast on things that I tried to do to correct this. It was the only time in my marriage when there was a consideration of my wife and I separating. It was her. That was it. And then there was also a defining moment when my wife came to me and she goes, all right, we got this. We're not separating. We're united. But it was close. And it was tough. But my daughter kept sneaking out, and she would steal my son's bicycle. She would steal it, and she'd ride it 2:00 in the morning. She'd be across town. And first time, it's like, okay, I caught her. After it came back, I could tell the bike had been moved. I could tell. So I confronted her. We argued, and she wouldn't. Then the next night number 2, she did it again. Night number 3, she did it again, but she threw the bike over a fence into a wash because the cops or somebody. So we went and got the bike, and I knew she was going to go out for a 4th night. She did it every night. She would pick a time, and I wasn't staying up all night. I had to work. So I was, and years of her doing this type of stuff. Don't think this was like something I did in the first month. No, this was years of her tormenting the kids, tormenting her mother, tormenting me, and just me not finding a way to resolve any of this. Didn't matter if it was therapy, you take her to church, you pay for a psychologist, you sit and have kumbaya moments, you give them, we're going to give you a start over, we're going to let you, didn't matter. There was no punishment I could give her, and there was no reward I could offer her. If you do something wrong, I'm going to punish you by burying you under the prison. She'd still misbehave. If I said, you know what? If you behave, if you're obedient, I'm going to give you a brand new car and $10,000. She would still be disobedient. There is nothing you could threaten her with, good or bad. She was on a course. All right. So the 4th night came up, and I told her, I said, do not sneak out and steal your brother's bicycle. Say it back to me. She goes, I'm not going to steal my brother's bicycle. And then I went down to the bicycle and I loosened the nuts on the front wheel because I knew she was going to steal it. I knew she was going to take off. And I knew at 2:00 in the morning, she was going to get a face full of asphalt. And I was going to walk out there and say, what'd you do? You said you weren't going to steal it. So sorry this happened to you, but tough shit. I guess you should have behaved yourself. I guess you should, if you'd have just behaved yourself, none of this would have happened. And then the next morning, if she didn't steal it, I was going to go down and tighten up the wheel and off we go. But I knew she was going to take it. Well, the nighttime came, and for some reason, she didn't steal it that night. And then I forgot to tighten up the wheels. And this is where you came in.
Yeah, I decided to use my bike to go to my friend's house, and I'm zooming along. I make it down the driveway, and I'm like, yeah, woohoo, I love my bike. I go up on a curb, and I'm like, I'm gonna do a wheelie off of this curb. This is a great day. And I pull my front wheel up, and it just flies off the fork of the bike. And I see my wheel rolling down the street, and I just face plant. And I'm like 14.
Yeah, 13
and I'm
or 14.
sobbing, and I have to go limp like 100 yards down the road to get my wheel. And I grab it, and I take my bike, and I just drag it home. I made it like a block away. And I go, I don't know what happened.
My wheel just came off.
I thought everything was working. And then you told me, I want you to know.
At that moment, I go, that's weird.
Yeah.
Your wheel came off, huh? Well, I didn't see that coming.
And you told me, I have something I need to tell you when you turn 18. And then every 6 months, he'd look at me and he'd go, I need you to know, when you turn 18,
I have something to
tell you. And I remember being so excited when I turned 18 that, like, what is this secret
for
that
4
he's
years
holding?
I kept saying, just remember to remind me when you turn 18. And then you turned 18 and you're like, okay, so what's this big thing? And I said, I loosened the wheels on your bike. But not because it was you. I was trying to catch your sister. And I
was so dissatisfied with that. I thought it was some legendary piece of knowledge that was going to take me to like some new place. Nope, it was just the pain and suffering I had with your fault.
Yeah, but the worst part was, so I waited 4 years to tell you.
Yeah.
And then you catch at that moment, it's your birthday and family's all around. I'm like, all right, well, just remember the bicycle thing. I was trying to mess with your sister because she was a fuck up, and sorry you fell off. That's my fault. And you were severely disappointed. And your mother goes, you did what? She was just as mad 4 years later as if it had just happened an hour ago. She was she was angry, like pot and pan in your hand, gonna smack me on the side of the head, angry. Like, look, it was a calculated risk. I just forgot to tighten the wheel back up. Yeah. And what are the chances you'd really get hurt? I
didn't get hurt. Luckily, I was all good. Not like the other 19 times.
I'm gonna pop a sick wheelie off this curb.
I know. I was so excited, and that was the moment.
You went. No, she hasn't gone.
Well, no, because everybody keeps bringing up stories, so we go with it. All right, so millennial daughter with 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. Can't figure life out. What was something that was difficult about being raised in a family of 8?
Youngest daughter, too.
Youngest daughter. 4 boys, 4 girls is the youngest girl.
Woo! I think for me personally, it was just always getting a lot of hand-me-downs. I didn't really get my own personal, this is my article of clothing or anything like that. And it kind of goes the same with my sisters. They are a bit older than me. And I'm watching them, they're doing makeup and, I want to do makeup and I'm not allowed to because I'm not quite there yet.
Because I had a firm rule on makeup and dating and I was not bending it.
And then same thing with with high school and going to dances and stuff was a little bit, I don't know. So just a little bit about that.
But you guys did go. In fact, you and one of your sisters went to a dance one time that I vividly remember where the guy you went with kind of won the dance contest.
What? I don't.
Nobody but me remembers the father-daughter dance in 6th grade.
Yes.
Elementary school.
I got a picture. Now, I went to that one. That was a good date you went on. You and your sister both had a very, very handsome fellow for that dance. Even though your sister was like, Dad, don't dance. Stop dancing. Stop dancing. I'm like, I'm in my groove. Come on now. Let's go.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Yeah. You stay right here.
Yeah. I live right here. That's what Mom says. She goes, honey.
You live right here, Dad.
You live right here.
You don't leave the zone.
Don't
leave your
none
zone.
of this. Ain't gotta put groceries in the cart. They got food. Ain't making no pizza. No sprinkler. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Now, I'm going to give you each a chance to ask me one question. Now, if you want to ask me who loosened the wheels on your bike, I'd be more than happy to be honest about that.
Yeah.
We'll go around the room. I will not lie. For the one time in your life, I promise not to lie. You can ask me one question. Not you, honey. I don't want you asking me any questions because I'm going to lie to you every time.
Read some sheets first.
Why don't you read the sheets first? Go ahead and do
While
that.
they think. Yukon Raphael Cornelius $2 Tippett Gen X Fun Whiskey Fun Gen X Talks Real is what he said. Disney Mama $10. So sorry I can't be there to help tonight, but me and Justin are watching. And he said that Gen X mom is very beautiful and was in awe when he found out she was a queen. Asked if he could get married to her.
What?
Oh, Justin.
Oh, Justin asked that? The little boy asked that?
Yeah.
She's a queen. Can I marry her?
I hope to meet you someday, Justin.
Yeah,
I do.
I
I'll
think
give you a great big hug.
But no marriage. She's taken.
Tyler Cronin, $10 for the Liquor Fund General. God bless y'all's beautiful family. Briggs, if your buddy is still coming to Texas A&M, tell him to lock his sports pass down. He's in for a hell of a fall semester.
I definitely will.
John Morgan, $10. Poll for all the guest kids. Should there be a shirt of the many hats of the general? Chef hat, Santa hat, crown.
They want a shirt that they can buy that has pictures of me wearing all these hats. Now, at
What
the
do you
time,
think? Should we
I
have a
thought it was
shirt?
a great idea. My Dodgers hat, my Rams hat, my Harley hat. I thought that'd be great. And the guy goes, no. Was it John Morgan? Is that the one?
I believe so, yeah.
He goes, no. I mean that
Yeah.
goofy chef's hat, your stupid crown, all the dumb things I've worn for like 30 seconds at a time. He's like, no, we need a shirt with all the goofy shit. See, I lost interest at that point.
Graham Gordon, $2 for the GXT 2025 road trip to Federal Way, Washington. Close to Canada.
He just made that up.
Blake, $4.99. General Kids Survey. Who holds the belt whopping record?
Oh, like which kid got
Whooping.
their ass
Yes,
kicked?
Belt
that's the
whooping.
last one. Yeah.
My oldest son by far. He's 32 now and lives in Las
He
Vegas.
did?
Wait, is it from my dad or is it from us kids? Like, are we the one doing the whooping or is it my
No,
dad?
he asked which one of you guys got the most ass whoopings.
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely
he
the
got the
oldest
most
one.
ass kickings with me manhandling him. The most famous ass
It's
kicking
millennial
was
daughter.
millennial daughter right over here on the side of the road coming home from Paso Robles, and a Yukon full of kids pissing me off for a 2-hour drive, and she was really on that day. She was on it, and I said, "You say one more fucking word, and I'm going to stop." And so she did. And I slid that thing off to the side of the road by that McDonald's, ran around there with you going, "Don't hurt her, don't hurt her, don't hurt her, don't do it." I grabbed her out of that back seat with every other kid frozen that I was marching around there. I took her to the back of the Yukon where no one could see and just spanked the shit out of her until she was screaming. I went, "Now, when you get back in there, shut the fuck up."
I
That's the
still
most
have
famous.
flashbacks.
What's that?
What was that?
I still have flashbacks.
Flashback.
Yeah, just learn to shut the fuck up when I tell you. God damn it. I'm getting all mad again. Blood pressure's going up.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I forgot one more thing.
ahead.
We got a PayPal from Mike Perkins, $20, and he did not allocate funds.
That's because Mike knows it goes to the whiskey fund. That's my man Perkins. He knows unallocated funds are for the whiskey
Is
fund.
my man Perkins.
My man Perkins. All right. So, like I said, let me find my cursor here. I have no mouse. There's my mouse. Where'd it go? I have no mouse. There we go.
There you
Got a
go.
mouse. All right. We'll go around the room. You can ask one question. I don't care what it is. I will answer it honestly. Normally in situations like this, I lie, but I promised Mom that I wouldn't. So we'll go around the room, and honey, this is not for you. You are not allowed to ask a question. You are uninvited to this event. We're going to go around the room the other way this time. We're going to start with the millennial daughter over here, and you can ask your question. Please get into the microphone and speak loudly. I don't really have anything to say. Be loud. Come on. Well, that's how you talk.
Yeah. Speak up into the mic.
You know, okay,
I don't need anybody from the peanut gallery,
I
okay?
can attest for everyone here. She's being quiet right now. She is the loudest fucking kid in this house. Every other situation, but right now she's being quiet.
Yeah, 2 glasses of wine and it's over.
Yeah.
You're laughing. Okay.
All right, go ahead. What is your question? It's the only time in your whole life you get to ask. Go.
if you can bring one person back, dead or alive, and like, who would you talk to that person about? Do you get what I'm asking?
My grandfather, Grandpa Dodd, without a doubt. I mean, unless you're picking people outside the family.
Well, yes, like a person dead or alive, if you can meet them and have a conversation with them, like a war hero or a celebrity or someone who just left a really good impression on you.
If it was family, I would pick my grandfather and I did spend an amazing amount of time because I knew he was going to die one day. He was older, and I spent hundreds and hundreds of hours telling him, "You're not going to be here forever. Please, let's have some conversations." And I have recordings. You guys don't know this. I put a video camera on him and Grandma, and I probably have 40 hours I asked them every story from them growing up that I could remember. I asked them where they lived, when they got married, what their first dog. I got 40 or 50 video hours of trying to capture everything so that when they passed away, I'd still have it. But I'd still want him back to talk to him. I went to his, you know what? I didn't tell you this. I went to his gravesite last week.
Oh.
I was coming back from down south, and you know how the last time you were there, it was all overgrown, and you cleaned it up. They were out there. Everything was clean and green and shiny, and they had weed eaters going and people with leaf blowers. They were cleaning up the whole big, huge place. And they were cleaning it up. But I went and talked to him then. I needed some clarity on some stuff, and I just sat by myself, didn't even tell anybody I was going. And I just and I went there and just sat with him and said, "I got some problems," and then waited to hear, an answer. So if you're talking about someone in my life, it'd be my grandfather without a doubt. Probably either one of my two grandfathers, if you want to know the truth. And if I was going to pick somebody famous that I would want to speak to, God, there's so many historical figures that you would want to learn from. Probably because of the kick I'm in, I don't want my oldest son in the room to laugh and roll his eyes because he knows why I'm thinking this is. This is going to sound stupid, but Alexander the Great. I just would have a thing like I'd sit with him and go, "Dude, you were so young and you did all this stuff." I know he didn't reign his greatness was not long lived, but there was some stuff. Or Admiral Nimitz, Chester Nimitz, who was in charge of the Pacific Fleet in World War II. I would sit with him and go, "Well, how did that feel?" Because it was tough to be in charge of defeating the Japanese, and the weight that must have been on that man's shoulders must have been just a terrible burden. And I'd probably ask one of those two. So if that answers your question, all right.
Yes.
Other millennial daughter, why do you have the Cheshire cat look about your face? You have this evil grin.
Because I'm finally going to know my answer.
What?
I would like to know who is your favorite child and why?
Who is my favorite child and why? You realize that whatever answer I give now is going to destroy hearts and minds and reputations.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, I'm shooting for top 4. Shooting for top 4 here.
Yeah, you can go in order, too. You can go from favorite to least.
You didn't give a list in order. You just said, give me the top one.
I do want the top
one. The
one.
reason that she's asking this, too, is because throughout their raising them, when the kids would come to me and say, "Well, how come I can't go out and play? You let them go out and play." I would always say, "Well, I like them better than you." To every kid. "I like that child better than you. You're not my favorite. They are." And the next time that would come up, I'd say to the next kid, "Well, you're not my favorite. They are." So every kid got the same answer. "Well, that's the reason I treat you bad is because I like them better than you. You're not my favorite." And the other one, what I used to tell you guys all the time was, the kids would always sneak me to the side and say, "Dad, just between you and me, just between you and me, who's your favorite kid?" And I'd say, "Well, you're my second favorite kid." And they'd go, "Oh, all right, well, second favorite's not bad. Who's the first favorite kid?" And I go, "All of your other brothers and sisters are tied for first. You're second." And they get mad, go, "That means I'm last." No, I think you should look at it as your second. You're a close runner-up. So there's part of the reason. All right, so if I have to answer honestly, here's the problem with trying to answer. There's a problem.
He's gonna He's gonna give you a politician right now.
The politician. Here's the problem with answering that.
Oh boy,
I do have favorite children, but for different things. Like I have one of you that I would hold up and go to a company of people. Hey, this is my favorite child. Look how responsible they are. I also have a favorite child that I'd hold up and go, this is my most loving and endearing child. This child's very sympathetic towards other people and animals, and they're just, they're I have a favorite. Your brother's sitting across from me right now. One of the things I told him last night was one of the reasons he is my favorite child in an area of raising children was because it was so easy to see progress in him. Some of you, as we teach you lessons as kids, Mom and I, years go by and we're like, God, are we fucking getting through? I mean, we're planting all the right seeds, but I can't tell if any of this is taking hold or not. And some personalities with you kids are just like that. With him, I told him this last night for the first time ever. I said, one of the greatest joys of raising you was we could see progress. We could see changes. You weren't a kid who hid it. So it was fun raising him because as things progressed, he makes a mistake, he gets back up, he does good, you can watch it. And then that, for a parent, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
So I paid him that compliment.
This is a master class in the filibuster right now.
So it's difficult to say which is the favorite because it's favorite in what? What do you mean?
She's asking overall.
Overall, just like your
Well,
favorite
I can
child.
tell you out of 4 boys and 4 girls, the oldest daughter is my least favorite.
We all know that.
Let's start with that. We can
we
can
all
knock
know.
that one off the table.
Yeah.
But and I'll tell you. Okay, here's another.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Here's another. It's an.
Sitting
Come
here
on.
for another 30
I got-
minutes to explain that why he's not going to answer.
I gotta be fair about this. The oldest brother of all of you. Okay. 6 years ago, I would have said he's down at the bottom. He's arrogant, he's cocky, he doesn't put family first, he puts his own selfish things first. And there's been a few things that Mom and I almost disowned him over, like, you can't be this fucking stupid. And so if you would have asked me that question, he wouldn't even have been in my mind. However, in the last 6 years, there has been so much growth with that young man that we hold him in a different feeling. We hold him in higher regard than we used to. Is he the favorite? Probably not. But boy, times change. If you would have asked me this when you were in 2010, I would have had I would have had a list.
I was 5.
But that list isn't the same in 2015 or 2020 because you all change. Mm-hmm. And if you're asking me who's the favorite right now, everybody's in motion for changing. I would have to say, and so now I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to answer your question on who, perhaps this would be the best way. So before I answer, tell me if this is okay. Who I'm closest with right now. Would that can that be the criteria?
No, 'cause that's
who I'm
great.
connected with right now the most, because I'm not sure how to who I'm the most proud of right now. What are you asking for exactly? 'Cause I don't know.
Overall, like I get okay.
Is that
I
it?
guess
Is-
if the world is ending,
Yeah.
and you had one child to save, who is that one child?
Totally different question. That's a totally different
Who is that favorite child?
Who's-
favorite.
What child to save?
Who is that favorite
That would be
child?
the sister sitting next to you because she's struggling so hard in life. You guys have all had a great life. She's been struggling. I want to save her to give her more time. So I would save her to like, okay, come on. They've all got their shit together. You're still struggling. I'll save you. And then maybe we can get you to have a good life too. You know what I mean? I'd save her. But maybe that's because she's my pet hamster right now. So...
Wow.
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 But I'm saying if you're asking me like who was my favorite, who would I hold up and go, this is my proudest accomplishment?
Yes, that one. Yeah.
That's different.
Okay. We can.
It's different, but no answer.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to answer. I told you I'd answer, but I wanted a better qualification on the question. Boy, you guys are good. Remember, this isn't answer.
Why are you giving me
I'm
that
not even your
side
kid. I
eye?
want to know the answer.
I know the side
All right.
eye said it all.
It's none of you in this room. It's none of you in this room. Right now, the person that I'm probably the most proud of at the moment, that I'm the closest to maybe at the moment, is your millennial sister who's living up north.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that right now is because none of you fucking kids really listened to me growing up. You no, you did not listen. You didn't. You know what?
No.
You shut up. You ran away. No. You ran away at 17. So shut your cake hole. This daughter was the one who went out of her way to try to follow every piece of advice she could. She, even if she didn't agree with it, I said, you need to change this relationship with this guy. You got to stop. She goes, I really don't want to. And I'm like, okay, but I'm telling you. And she looked at jobs. She looked at where she was living. She looked at relationships. She looked at everything objectively. And even in the times when she said, I don't agree with this, but she did it my way or mom's way. And she benefited over the long run. Not because we're brilliant. We've lived and fucked up. And all the advice we ever gave you kids was, we've already done this. If you want to avoid pain and suffering, listen to what I'm saying. And every one of you did it your way. Very seldom did you ever take our advice till after you fucked up and something happened. But guess what? So did I. I was the worst one. I never took anybody's advice. So I get it. I understand it. But she had less pain, less suffering, and is getting along further in life, I think, because she listened, and she's super happy. And I'm so proud of her for listening. That's the only reason right now at this moment. But you and I, to be fair, you and I had a good conversation today where I complimented you on something that was changing with you. And I sat and said, what I see in you now is great. I love where you are. You got to admit that.
You can say it out loud if you like. Tell them.
No, I'm afraid I can't. You had your one question.
Oh, someone in the comments said, "Oh, someone's gonna get put in the nursing home."
So glad someone saw that.
Yeah.
I am so putting you in a nursing home as soon as it's possible.
I hope your favorite can.
Hope your favorite can come bail you out. There's going to be 7 of you putting me in a nursing home and 1 going, all right, Dad, I'll help.
Yeah.
All right, so going around the room to Gen Z kid, what's your question?
That's a tough one.
You got to actually talk in the mic.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. No. I was talking to myself going,
I'm
man,
going
this
to
is a
lower
tough
and raise
one.
his mic during the question so nobody can really hear it.
That's so tough.
Come on, the one time I can't lie.
I know. Well, you told me I wasn't getting a question earlier, so I had to think of it on the spot.
Yep.
All right, this is a question I've wanted to ask you for a long time. Do you think you'd be going to heaven or hell?
Me?
Yeah. And why? I know it's 2 questions, but I'd like to know the why.
I know I'm going to heaven, but I know I'm doing it wrong. In my personal belief system about going to heaven, when you accept Christ, when he is your Lord and Savior, when he takes over your life, and many, many, many years, I lived and worked and stepped with deliberate steps in that direction. From that moment on, I'm saved. And I really believe that. And the reason people say you're saved no matter what is because people, they stray off the path. They do terrible things. You bring them back and get them on track. But just, it's like, oh, I'm glad you didn't die while you were sinning. I'm glad you didn't die while you were off the path. You would have gone to hell. No, you're going to heaven anyway because you've already made the commitment. You've already, bent the knee, so to speak. And you do go off the path. Now, my problem is, so I already know that, and I lived many years in that direction. My problem is, admittedly so, I've stayed off the path for quite a while. And that bothers me at times. Yeah. But so I know I'm going, but when I get to heaven, Jesus is going to go, dude, you really shouldn't be getting in here. You know that, right? And I'm going to try to argue and go, well, there's a couple things I really did good here. I mean, look at my favorite daughter. She turned out well. We'll have to throw that out there.
Yeah.
And so there's your answer. I hope that completes the phrase.
Yeah, that does, because you just, I'm just like yapping a little bit more, but you tell stories of you doing bad things for good reasons and stuff like that, and you keep a lot of your past secret from us. And I was just wondering, like, does that influence your, I guess, faith?
I really was worried that every question around this table tonight was going to be, okay, I heard this story and I want the real story this time. Not one of them came up. So this was also why because there's some stories that Mom doesn't even know. She knows of the story, but the details she has asked, probably 7 or 8 stories that she has repeatedly asked, and I wouldn't tell her. She's even gone to your grandmother and sat her down and said, I want to know what my husband did in this situation with this, and you know about it, and even Grandma wouldn't tell her. So
Yeah.
I was glad that some of those questions didn't come up
I didn't want to ask you one of those questions because those are better told around a campfire, not
when I'm drinking.
yeah,
Yep.
not
All right,
with bright
son,
lights.
oldest son at the table, you get to ask one question. Yes, I did loosen the wheels on your bike. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I had two in mind. One is a really hard question that I don't think anyone can answer.
Okay.
And then the other one is
Well, my answer could be very honest. I could say I don't know.
that's true. I gotta pick one.
Please don't ask me what the meaning to life is,
That's kind of close.
because I have a
Kind
number
of close
for
to
you.
that. My question was going to be, where do you think the bridge between knowledge and wisdom starts?
I actually might have an answer for you.
All right.
When you get to, I never learned all those things, those type of lessons, even when they were beat over my head growing up with mistakes I made. You think you would learn the difference between knowledge and wisdom, and people make a joke about it, and they say knowledge is knowing tomato is a fruit. That's knowledge. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in your, in your fruit salad.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't go there. I mean, that's the gentle euphemism of it. But this goes back to something you'll relate to. When the difference, where's the bridge between knowledge and wisdom comes. You learn a lot of that raising kids, not learning life on your own, and those lessons never sunk in. But raising kids, I learned to watch, and I'll give you an example. The millennial daughter sitting here with one foot out the door. I guess you were 3, and you're walking around, and there's a party going on, and we had the fireplace going and the glass in front of it. And I told her, she kept walking over there. I go, don't touch the glass. It's going to burn you. You're going to get burned. You touch the glass, it's going to burn your finger. Now she has the knowledge. She has the knowledge. Don't touch the fucking glass. And she walked over to it, and I just let you do it. I let you walk over there, and you put your finger like this, and it sizzled, and you screamed, and I go, I told you. Now, that's the difference between, that's just knowledge, and the wisdom is to not ever do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, take that silly example from a 3-year-old and try to apply that to every one of you at every stage in life. We give you the information, we give you the knowledge, and then we see if you have the wisdom to follow it on your own. If you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense, I shouldn't do that. Or that makes sense, yes, I should go do this. Once you have obtained the knowledge, the wisdom is something that comes after you process things. You want to touch the fire to know it's hot? Go ahead, touch the fire. You'll know it's hot. You'll have the wisdom and you'll have the knowledge to never do it again. But the bridge on that, what you asked, your question was, what is the bridge between knowledge and wisdom? Is watching is when a person accepts the knowledge and processes it on their own. If you don't, if you have all these things being told to you and you just willy-nilly through life, sometimes you get lucky and things go good. Sometimes you get unlucky and things go bad. You may have a ton of knowledge. You have no fucking wisdom at all. And it's much easier for us to observe that on the outside looking in as parents. That's how I even know that analogy. Could I have looked back at my own life and analyzed that? No, because I'm stupid and I was arrogant and I was selfish and I couldn't process that. But to look at it from a parent's point of view and watch each of you grow and change, you can tell when a person takes that knowledge and actually applies it. And now they have gained wisdom because they're using it. Even if you guess, even if you use it wrong, you try. The wisdom is being able to process it and choose a course of action. Now, if you choose wrong, all right, you'll figure it out later. But there's no wisdom in guessing. There's no wisdom in having all that knowledge and just guessing and just saying, well, I'm going to do this in life and I'm going to do that in life. And then you never do it. There's no wisdom there. You know what you say you want to do. You know what you think you should be doing. But if you never actually do it, you have no wisdom. You just head's full of knowledge. I don't know if that answers your question completely, but that's as close as I can get right now.
Cool. Satisfying. I'm satisfied with that answer as opposed to the bike. The bike story. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've gone a little bit over time. We thought we were going to do an hour show. We have family games and dinner and all sorts of of sweet cakes now, even though you've eaten them all because you're pregnant and you've eaten them all before.
Because she's
dinner.
poor, remember?
Oh, she's poor. Yeah. We really got to help you out with that. Your daughter thinks you're poor. In fact, she's sad because you're poor.
I can't believe she said
That was the most amazing answer the whole night. For those of you who didn't see it, she's 5, right? 5 years old? She's 5 years old. My 5-year-old granddaughter, we had her in at the beginning, and we asked her, "What makes you happy and what makes you sad?" And I said, I asked her, "What makes you happy?" She goes, "Donuts." I said, "Okay, what makes you sad?" And she goes, "I'm sad because I'm poor." That was the best answer of the night. There's nothing we should have just
Dad.
hung up our spurs at that and called it a night. That was great. Yeah.
Dad, have Lil Chief go through the sheets.
Oh, can you want to read the sheets, kid? There, go through and see who's doing what.
Yeah. Loud one, $5. I'd pay for a shirt that had him in the Santa hat and the chef hat.
Not happening, loud one. I thought we were friends, buddy. I loved you like a brother up until that statement.
Brian Ivany, member for 17 months.
Woo.
Thank you, Brian.
Either move your camera, see the camera up there?
Yeah.
You got to move your camera or move you. Just get in there. There you go.
we go.
All right, go ahead.
All right, we got Brian Ivany again. Yeah, I'm late to KGXT radio. Yeah, I'm late. KGXT radio was banging. I was smoking cigar and drinking bourbon. You should do a 78 p.m. gentleman's hour for just such things. My suggestion. Anyway, Radio Fund, caucus drink, cheers.
There we go.
Charles Clark gifted 5 Gen X Talks memberships.
Who got those memberships?
R. Dillon 517, LL, The End is Near, Beware, Thomas Bialoruki, and RG. all
Everybody
got
can leave
gifted.
the stream when it's over. Go to the YouTube channel, community section of Gen X Talks, and take a peek behind the curtain. If you became a member tonight, if you were gifted a membership or you purchased one, you get to take a peek. 3 years of personal stuff we don't share with the public is there for your personal viewing.
There's more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Charles, the same gentleman that gifted 5 sub, gave
Yeah.
us $20. He says, "You're a great father, regardless of the feelings and emotions that come with protecting your seed. Funds for whatever."
My man. That's right. Now there's 2 of us on the planet.
Jeffrey Montgomery from Facebook. General earned his own 2,000 stars, but now Gen X Mom gets to keep the first 2,000 because she never got the 5-part apology.
I'm not going to do a 5-part apology, although it might be worth it for 2,000 stars.
And then Loud One says, "Fine, I'll print my own shirts and sell them to the bottom of the glass nation." He's
I was
done
friends
waiting.
with Loud One and up until this point with the Santa. No, we're done. We're no longer friends. Where's the kick him out button? He needs to be in the woodshed. All right, go ahead. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it in the sheets. All right, we'll go back to this is where we got to find the cursor again here. Boom, 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 boom. All right, we'll go back to everybody. So listen, all of you kids, you're on camera. Say goodbye to everybody. Say goodnight. Thank you, kids, for putting up and tolerating me. I know I had to give you each $20 to do this, but
What?
well,
I didn't
not
get
you.
$20.
All right, say goodnight, everybody. We'll be on our way.
Good night.
Good night.
We'll catch all you
Night.
guys
Love
on
you
the flip
guys.
side.